Should Miami go for the three right away? Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka!
Welcome to an Inside Fantasy Sports Inside NBA podcast. This is the big one. It is a mega mock with the Insight crew. That's right, Big Horse galloping up already. You've got 5 of the lads here for a bit of a Sunday session. 4 in ones in hands, lads. Can we get a bit of a cheers? Thanks to our wonderful sponsors, the Standard Squeeze. Repping these guys. Make sure you use promo code INSIGHT15 and get 15% off whatever you get in store at our friends, the Standard Squeeze. A whole bunch of gear here and a whole bunch of hot guys in chat for your Sunday session. We've got Super Coach Matrix right there, NBA legend. We've got SC Brain at Big Horse and at Filthy IFF. Matty, what are we looking at today?
Our standard 9-category 12-man leagues that we do. We've invited a heap of content creators that we're going to be using in our NBA podcast and some guys from our friends and family leagues. And just going to take it seriously. Going to see where we all fall from some different spots. I've got the 6th pick. G's got the 3rd pick. Braino has the 8th pick. And Big Horse there. Where are you? You're 11-pound slug. Also, I am the 7th pick.
I'm Gawker's extra. I have no idea when I set this fan tracks up because I've been on ESPN and Yahoo. So we like fan tracks. We think this is a great setup. Braino, you did this for us. You love how this shakes out for everybody. And it's also one of the best services right now to actually do mocks on as well.
Yeah, I think it helps when you can see what everybody's pick's been, at least for the first 4 rounds. You know, there's a couple of other ones that don't really look as visually appealing, especially for a podcast setup. So Fantrax is perfect. And it looks like we've just kicked off with the first pick.
Phil, and friend and fan of the show, on there with the first pick. I'm interested to see. I expect something a bit spicy from Phil, but Jokic might be a bit too hard to pass up.
You can't stuff this up, can you? I mean, Jokic is going to be the consensus number 1 in all drafts. You'd have to think.
I think when you see the ADP, it's 1.03. Yeah, Embiid's a good. Look, if he's off the board and you want that way, you can lean into it. Like he was the number 1 player last season, right?
Yeah,
depends. Yeah. I mean, per game, it's Jokic. It just depends on how you want to draft. But me personally, I take Jokic over Embiid every single time.
Yeah, 100%.
He's either taking Jokic or got an auto. So, see how we go.
Look, I'm up next, and I'll tell you now. Joel took. I've got a bit of a strategy for today that I haven't done before, so I'm actually going to. Look, I'm going to take Shea, even though I know in pods I've said I won't take Shea with the 3rd. I'm just going to see how that shapes out because it's been a general consensus that he's going about there. So I want to see what I can shape around that. He doesn't kook me anywhere, really, does he?
No, you should be right.
Yeah.
I might get the odd out of position block, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean in and I'm going to take Jason Tatum at 4. I think he's going to have another big year now. And for Boston and KP should be able to let him score more, even though he scored 30. But
does it worry you, Skitty, now that they've given Jaylen Brown $300 million bajillion that they're going to try and share the offense with Tatum and Brown?
No, it doesn't bother me at all, just because of the fact that it's always been Tatum's team and it will continue to always be Tatum's team. And next year when Tatum gets $350 million, it's going to look like Brown's still the second unit, which he always has been. So, and I like that pick from Anth, picking Halliburton at 5. That's great. Get your assist stuff straight away. I really like that.
Luka at 6, all-round value there. Like last year was about 10th overall. Good value, I think.
Do you intend on punting free throws, Matty?
Yeah. That's probably where I'm going to have to head straight up. I actually expected
there he is.
Yeah, there's another guy that's going to punt some free throws, but I actually expected Hallie to still be there at 6 and 7 there. But pretty happy.
I'm going to take a little bit of a punt on my first pick. A lot of risk comes with it, but Anthony Davis is the guy I'm going to take
Nah,
as my
like
first
that.
pick.
No, I love that for you. I think he is. Look, he's just re-upped his contract over in Los Angeles just a mere 24 hours ago. He was an incredible fantasy asset last year. Let's be honest. He doesn't really harm you anywhere. He doesn't get the threes that he used to, but that's a really solid pick to start your team off. Yeah, his free throws can be improved, surely, but
enjoy the 40 games you'll get out of him, Bruno.
And I think that's the risk, isn't it? Taking a guy that loves his street clothes. AD.
But I reckon Matty O'Brien's said in the past on previous podcasts, not just with NBA, but NRL as well, that you don't punt on injury.
Oh, what is that?
We're going with that.
What is
that? Is that feels early to me. KD's still sitting there.
It does feel early. I did wonder if it's still going to be sitting there for his next pick, but interesting to see how he pivots from there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh, dear. Sabonis has that all-round game, you know what I mean? Like, he gets those out-of-position assists. Not many
but he's not.
Stats, but I like it. High rebound stats.
I don't know if I don't like it because I was going to try and snake him on the way back around in the second or just because he's jumped early, to be fair. I don't know which one I'm feeling, but I think that for me I think that's egregiously high. I think that's ridiculously high for Domantas Sabonis. I don't see him being a top, 10 player. And that's where he's just basically
because, if you think about it, you probably take Sabonis on the turn. So it's only 3 picks ahead. I'm just thinking of a tie because KD's there.
I would be taking Sabonis. Yeah, I don't know. Boys, would you be look, he's probably going about, he's probably going 15, 16, but I don't know. I think because of his last season, I think he's going to go off the board early this year, and I don't think he's going to return you the same value that you got out of him last year. That's my only thing.
He was still the rebounds leader last year, so Sabonis does give a lot of want in that category because he gets such high rebounds. So if he pairs him with someone else that can get a few rebounds, he can really damage a lot of teams with the rebounds.
He can. Now,
Boys, are we saying then?
Go, Mickey.
Are we saying that round one's completed now? Biggest surprise there, Sabonis at 10. Would we all agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also then surprised with the 12th pick, and I think he's paired it with guards. He's really leaning. Cameron's really leaning into guards right now. That's probably someone would say, "Ooh, that's early."
Bridges early. Jeez.
That is a little bit.
Stupid. Yeah, but just remember,
like Bridges.
He's got a lot of picks in between. If he wants his guy, he has to take him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still there Bridges. At 3-1-1.
But let's remember, Bridges is he has so high a value because he played every single game. If he gets injured, it's not like he's doing that amount. I would take LaMelo ahead of Bridges in that aspect. But again, if Bridges does play every game again, he's got the keys there in Brooklyn. So I like it. What do you guys think about this year?
I love that pick because in a lot of drafts, you're going to see LaMelo, going off in the first round. He's picked him up in the second round, fourth pick in the second round. Lord, he's written.
Who's doing the sound bites? Is there a premature ejaculation one?
No, that was just me.
Hey, what about a shout out for Rob? That's as close as I can get to it. Now look. Do we see Victor coming in the second, returning that much value for us?
Not that much.
No,
I don't think he's a second round pick. Not a chance.
And you've just fucking taken my pick, Brano. So thanks for that.
Well, I mean, the thought behind. I was very close to taking Triple J, to be fair, but the thought of getting assists early, I think, is pretty important in these kind of leagues. So I think Harden will give me that.
Yeah. Depends where he is, though.
Yeah, that's right. I think wherever he is, he's going to be the main ball handler, isn't he? So I can't see him not averaging 8+ assists per game. So I'll take that in the second round.
Well, he was the league leader last year at 10.7. So even if it came down to 8, you're still pretty happy with drafting him there in the second round, wherever he is.
And also, you'll be happy to know that I finally found a way to turn the little sound off. I thought I did it, but I didn't. So there is no sound.
Like that for you.
Sorry to anybody listening on audio.
Up yours, Matty.
Yeah. Oh, well, I had Harden and Jaren queued up. So now I had to pivot and go with Dono. I'm going to get points. I think he pairs pretty well with Luka. So.
Yeah.
I like that 1-2 punch that Anthony's got there. Halliburton alongside Booker. I still think Booker
pairing with Luka. Give me Kyrie Irving.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool.
Wizard, baby. Yeah, I like what Kyrie's going to be able to do. He showed last year at the end that him and Luka can work alongside each other. So I think Kyrie's still going to get his, Luka's still going to get his, and Kyrie was the 9th ranked player when he was playing with Luka. So I'll happily take him near end of second round value. That's good for me.
Fuck, I love how many minutes he played. Just had like a 25 6-6 season. Like how good.
Yeah. You love to say that from Kyrie.
Quietly.
I'm going to do something that I didn't want to.
Ooh.
I just think Trae Young at the back end of that isn't bad to help me get those assists early on. I know he's been going like wherever. I think that feeds it right now. I'm going to try and make up some obviously defense afterwards with Shea and I've say with point guards. So I guess on the turn back, I'm looking at picking up a bigger, a bit of a flex spot right there, a bit of a power forward, some center action.
Brano, you're the Hawks man. What do you think about Trae Young? Can he bounce back with his field goal struggles from last year and get his 3-point percentage back up?
Yeah, Dell and I spoke about this in the Hawks preview pod. For anybody who hasn't watched that, go back and check it out. But we're saying that, if he had a 33% from 3 last year, which was his worst year aside from his rookie year from 3. So surely there's a bounce back there. So, and I mean, he finished the year ranked 23 last year in fantasy basketball. So, I mean, if he gets back up to the 36-37% kind of range, you'll probably see him break into that, maybe close to first round, borderline second round value. So,
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
And then
yeah, that was where I was looking elsewhere. I think he's going to have a big year in Houston. He was a guy, Mickey Dell, you and I last year in almost these exact same spots. And there you go. Phil takes Lowry, Markkanen. Obviously, that's huge because he played himself into it. How do you think Lowry goes this year in Utah with John Collins there? Obviously, another, let's say, skilled basketball player on the team.
Yeah, John Collins, him coming in, does he take some touches off Markkanen now? I'm not so sure. I think Markkanen's too high there. Yes, he was the clear number 1 in Utah, but I think he takes a step back this year.
I think you've just taken Markkanen at his ceiling. I'd rather take somebody that I can see with a bit more upside. At that what's at the 24th pick. Like if I'm taking him at the 36th pick and I think that he has the opportunity to be the 24th pick, then I'm pretty happy. But if I'm taking the 24th pick and I think best case snenario, I hate Mally.
Love that. Oh, can I just say I hate Mally? I absolutely love that. And all the feedback yesterday out of Team USA was that guy. So for me, he was
my wife always says, not tonight.
Not getting any out of Cade Cunningham on that pick. And I was going to take 3 guards and kook myself, but at least I had flexibility to trade. So if you ever find yourself in a position as well, I'm always of the big option, get assets, just basically call me Presty. I want to take them. And that's why I'm going to take this guy right now, because I think if he has a bit of a bounce back year in many regards, and I think he's in the 3rd round. So that's not bad for me for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. Last year we were talking about him like at the turn of the 1st and 2nd, weren't we? Some people even took him in the 1st round, Karl Anthony Towns last year.
Yeah, and that's
it still worries me him beside Rudy though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still think he's a trade target. Do you reckon he's going to get traded? Because I think if he gets himself traded to a better situation,
I do.
I'm going to get that value back. And so I don't know that's going to happen, but there's a strong likelihood it happens. So either way, I know I'm going to get something decent there out of it, I guess. Bam off with the next pick with you, Skitty. Love that.
Yeah, my theory about Bam is basically like if this Dame trade situation holds out for a while and they don't get him before training camp or anything like that, Bam's going to do so much for that Miami Heat team with Jimmy because they got no one else. It's them two, Tyler Hero, who doesn't want to be there because he knows he's gone, and Josh Richardson. So I think Bam's going to get a lot until Dame gets there, if he does. And it's Spicy P.
No, you go, because I traded for him last year, so I'm really curious, like, why you pick up Fox now? I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, we love Swiper. Why did you pick him up now? Can I just ask?
So trying to shore up some assists there. I did want Cade because he just gets me a bit more, I suppose, at rebound. Mm-hmm. But when I have a look at if I have a look, I'm just queuing it up here. I've got 3 guys that score above 25 points a game. I'm not worried about turnovers. All of them score well in assists, rebound out of positions, and hit some threes. He shoots at 51%. Yeah, I'm not worried about his 78% free throw as a guard because I've already just been cooked by Luka there a bit earlier.
Do you think that kind of nullifies what Donovan Mitchell does, though? Because Mitchell does get a lot of free throws at a very high clip. Great pick, Nate. So do you reckon that kind of brings down Mitchell's value a little bit? Because then you kind of only getting him for 3 scoring, a little bit of assists, and maybe steals if he stays it?
It's just that Dono does a little bit of everything. Like, Dono scores still 28 points a game. I don't care where it comes from. Maybe I'll still end up jagging free throws on the off things because I've got people like Donovan Mitchell, but it's not going to be a target. I am throw it away. I'm not going to get a guy that's bad at free throws for the sake of getting someone that's bad at free throws because I have somebody. I'm just going to get the best player available at that point. Wanted Harden, wanted LaMelo, wanted Jaren Jackson Jr., which I would have went in a completely different direction. But Dono was the best available. So
Let me just say there as well, I know that Matty AU went well early on Victor Wembanyama, but he probably could have swapped those 2 picks around with Wembanyama and Paul George, and I would have been pretty happy with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of forced our hand on. Did you think you've forced your hand there on Chet because Victor going in the first round? Chet's the other rookie on the horizon there for you, Brano?
Not particularly. I had Chet pretty high on my draft board anyway. So if he was there in the third, even if he slid to the fourth, I was definitely taking him in the fourth. But you're probably right. Maybe I did reach a little bit, maybe a round early on what I planned to bring him in. But I'm pretty high on Chet this year, so I'm happy to take him in the third.
Yeah, look, I think we're all high on Chet. We're all high on Wemby. Look, I would love to have seen these exact same picks brought back one. So if Wembanyama goes in the third and Chet in the fourth, I think that's great.
DG is he's going to be solid as you want. I think his assists come up this year as well, as me and Matty was saying on the Cavaliers preview. So I love what DG is going to be able to bring this year. And let's see how that goes. So now Miles Turner, which I really like.
Yeah, I really like Miles there. So the only one thing that's, I guess, in this turn, like going back over on the cap in the third round, is Mick Dell. You picked up LeBron James. We all know that I'm a homer for LeBron. Absolutely love what he brings as a player. I'm just always worried about the games played, especially on the back of last season. That's a homer. That's an absolute home pick.
There's an emotional pick. There's an OKC fan pick.
Yeah.
I can't wait for he gets in. I'm actually doing the preview show with Trent this week, and I know that Giddy was going off, and I probably tried to piss him off by taking Shea early so I could talk about him in the pod. Oh, the wave pool.
DeJounte Murray as well.
Damn.
Don't mind that. And you know what?
That's pretty good fourth.
I actually had DeJounte in my queue. I thought Brano, you'd actually take him next, to be fair. And if he was going to fall to me,
the guy I'm taking is going to piss Matrix off a lot because I know he has his eye on him. But Desmond Bain, he's in. I think he's a really nice pick. We're at what 41. We've picked Desmond Bain up, and we know the upside that he has. Mind it.
I've got him at 32 on my draft board, so we definitely would have taken him. But
Brunson's rounding that out nicely.
I like the Brunson pick there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he takes on more of the number one role at New York this year. We know that Julius Randle loves to shoot the ball, but I think this year he takes a minor step back. Brunson takes on more of the offense. I see value there in the fourth round for Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I like that pick.
It's way too late. He was dropping way too far, Kawhi.
It wasn't 100%. Wasn't even on my radar. Just taking the best available player at that time.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's cool. And that's sometimes the smartest way to play your draft. If guys are falling to you and you're looking about for someone else, you get two things. One, you get a good player that you can use as a starter and bench another guy, or you get a very good tradable asset. And guys like Kawhi Leonard, if he's playing healthy and he comes back, last year he was absolutely exceptional when he played. You're obviously banking on him playing, not health. Drew, great pick. Filthy, this is you.
I think everyone kind of knows where I'm going with this.
Evan Mobley.
Mobley.
Yes,
Evan Mobley.
Big Evan Mobley, baby. Let's go. Happy that fell.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was who I had queued up until Kawhi was just sitting there, and I just couldn't help myself.
But I just want to fill that power forward spot. So I'm looking at my team. I've got Shea, I've got Trey, I've got Cat. Jaylen Brown just got the bag. He's dependable. I like it. Love Paolo.
That's ceiling for Paolo right there, isn't it? Like, what
it
did
is.
we have to 40?
Yeah,
What
good
is it,
pick,
like
Jamal Murray.
44 or something like that. Paolo, that's like,
Yep.
that's it. I don't see him getting higher than the 44th ranked player.
Yeah, 100%.
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I think that he's a bloke
Yep.
that you can take in the 50s in most drafts that have that top 30 upside. I'm not seeing that in a lot of other players.
Yeah, okay.
I think he
No,
might have
that's
taken him
probably
too
fair.
early.
Top 30?
I think that you'll get him 55 plus in
Yeah.
most drafts, and he's a guy that has top 30 upside. So second year.
I think we
bump.
cut.
Scoot.
I love that. I actually had my eye on him. There's a guy I've said to. It's just based on trade with Damian Lillard right now. Let's be fair. We like Scoot. It's probably too early for him overall. Dame goes. Scoot's the keys to the kingdom. He's your guy in Portland. Love it. But there with that, look, I love Coos. That's way too high.
That's a
Can
reach.
somebody please play this? Let
What
me.
the fuck was that?
There is better players out there right now at that pick right there at 50. I love Kuzma this year. I think he has upside, but at that, I don't. I'm going to take the guy I messaged Matty O'Brien because I'm a man of my word, but I'm probably doing it early, just seeing where everyone's gone. But I'm going to take
Walker
Walker
Kessler. That's a
Kessler.
great pick. Nice.
My boy.
I think
There
it
you
is
go. I'm
early, but I don't think where you are in your draft that he ever would have come back to you. So
that's where
happy
I'm
with
thinking. Yeah, me too. I'm not going to get him again. I just let him slip. I was going to pick him up there in the fourth round, and then I let him slip to me just to see what played out. I mean, Kuzma was a bit of a surprise to me to go before that pick, but I need some field goal percentage, especially with Trae Young. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gives me high field goal percentage. Cat gives me good field goal percentage. Jalen doesn't give me bad field goal percentage. I don't like it, but it's not bad. But then I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that's all right. Zach, yeah, good. Zach traded this year or sticking around town?
I think he sticks around. I think DeMar's like the more obvious one, how he's come out and said like that he's like, okay to be traded and everything. I think the Bulls would be stupid to get rid of Zach LaVine. So he's a guy that can just go off for 50. So I think you can't really get rid of that kind of player where he's that kind of, like really good scorer. So I had a look at a couple of other players, but I think LaVine's probably the most solid one there where I know he's going to be getting me like 25 points per game and a lot of threes. So I'll take that. And then I like the pick from Anthony. He's making a very solid team there with a lot of steals in his last two picks. Geez, Drew Holiday and now OG Anunoby gone. So
yeah,
and there's
really
Zion. Jeez, there it
Throw
is.
it, Matty.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about people that you can take in the fifth round that can be a top 30. Zion can be, if Zion's healthy, he can be a top 12. He can be a top 10 guy. He's not injured. The issue is that, that his missus is up him because he's out playing hooky elsewhere.
Brandon Ingram, McDell, love that pick. Scotty Barnes, I said he was an upshot guy in our Raptors pod. We're featuring him as one to watch this season. Bounce back Barnesy, I'm calling him. What do you reckon, Brano? You like him a lot too. That's good value too, Matty, for Vucevic there right there as well.
Yeah.
I think, I'm on the bounce back Barnesy with you, G. I think his efficiency last year was quite poor.
Ben Simmons at 59. Now, this is exactly what we don't like from Trent. We don't like to take Lopez with the 59th pick overall because he slid in drafts last year. Now, obviously, I picked him up last year late. I picked him up as a 10th rounder. He just stupidly exceeded his ADP and his overall. Picking him up there again, I don't hate it, but that doesn't give you value. That's him at optimal, because with a healthier and we always.
G, personally, I'm picking up Claxton before I'm picking up Lopez.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I love Clacko. We all know I love Clacko. I had him in my 2K team, didn't I? I badged the shit out of him. DeRozan, great pick at 60.
Go.
Sorry, I
Flacco.
actually disagree though. I'm actually taking Lopez over Claxton. I'm agreeing with Trent there. I like that pick in the 50s for Lopez, who's getting you good blocks, gives you stuff or rebounds, but like the threes and the spacing, and he gets you the good free throw percentage from a center, which I really like as well, because Claxton doesn't give you that. So
no, I've always loved that as well. And look,
personally, I'm saying,
and I love Lopez. I don't disagree with it at all, but I just think if we have an improved Giannis season with a healthier Middleton season, I see it playing more out like a 21-22 Bucks team than the $223 team. And that's not where their value comes back to me. So again, love him. Think he's a great player. I think good bloke. Oh, there we go. Jalen Williams. Look, Mr. Homer. Got to say this for the man.
He's loving it. He is loving it.
Yep.
Okay, man through and through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
There we go. I actually messaged Ant in chat to say I love what he was putting together there with his team. Sir Delaney, I love what he was putting together with Halliburton, Booker, Pascal, Drew Holiday, and OG. Because he's a deep, for those who know him, this is a guy who plays in the NBA 2K leagues. He is a big center in the NBA 2K league here in Australia, in the ANZPL. So he loves his defense. So he's obviously stacking it. And I get a message back after I said, love your team. And he said, I wanted Kessler over OG. So a bit of a smoky pick there by Walker, by Ant. Love that from him. Bradley Beal just went off the board at pick 65. I've just done the Suns podcast with Nate Hand yesterday. I just think that's an awesome pick. So just got to call that. If you can pick him up there, we said yesterday, if you can pick up Bradley Beal in the 60s, you are laughing. You picked him at 65. Genius pick.
Del, thoughts on Maxey? What are you thinking here, taking Maxey?
Yeah, I love him. I reckon Harden's out in Philly. I think he's going to take over the number one guard spot there. And assists, points will go through the roof. Maybe not field goal percentage. But, yeah, I said big uptick for Maxey. I think at that range, he's massively undervalued.
Yeah, I like it.
Are you just saying nice because it's a Cleveland Cavalier, Skitty?
Yeah, but also this is good range for Jared Allen. Looking at the other centers, you could have gone.
He's like Nicholas Claxton, but good.
Yeah, you could have gone for a pick between Claxton or Allen, but I think Allen probably gets you a little bit more assists and a little bit more free throw percentage. Now, shush, I'm trying to do my shit.
That's all right. Just don't take one of the guys I got in my queue.
Is this two center? Can we only have one center or two centers?
One center, but one flex as well. So technically, you can have two if you really want.
Yeah.
I hate this bloke with a passion from last year, but I'm going to.
Oh, I know who you're taking. I know who you're doing. Yep, I had him in my queue. He came back around. I just spoke about him yesterday in that Suns pod, and look, a lot of guys in Phoenix are talking about this possibly being a comeback season for him. In many ways, a bit of a return. I'm about to take a guy I don't want to take again. I actually want to build a team. My strategy is get guys I want. If I don't, get guys who I know I can trade for and get who I want later. So I am taking Ja Morant.
I was about to ask about him. Is he dropping too far, or do you think sixth round?
Yeah, he has.
End of sixth
I
round.
just picked him up at the 70th. This is the 70th pick I've made, and it's Ja Morant. And I did this last year with Jaren Jackson Jr. and Middleton. At 70, I'm going to get value for my last 50 games, and that's what wins me my championship in my fantasy league down the stretch. I don't care about my first 20. I care about getting in the top 8 and then having the best dudes at the tail end of that. And welcome to the party train.
Hey, boys. Have you got me?
Yeah, mate.
With you, mate. Talk us through your last couple of picks, because we were talking about Lopez. It's a little bit of a divided opinion at the moment on Lopez. Why'd you go early on him?
Well, mainly because I had a look at the centers left, realized I had no centers, and he was probably the best option I could think of for blocks, and also contributes a little bit to your 3 points as well. So for me, that's it. I'm not usually someone who goes rebound heavy. So for me, Lopez kind of fits that mold.
Yeah, fair.
Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one there. Derek White into Franz Wagner. I'm big on Derek White this year, by the way, lads. I don't know about you guys, but him getting that starting point guard at Boston, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I really do as well.
It there. I reckon I love it in another 15 picks.
What, 70? Like, pick 70, though. That's roughly about it for a guy that gets you blocks from the guard, a bit of steals. He can get you assists. I think he's going to get a bit more assists as well.
He's been a passenger his whole career. He's not going to change it because they've got better people there. Yeah, he's going to be starting there. He's not going to do it a lot. I like him. I like him at 100. I like him at 90.
Okay. This will be our thing, Matty.
I'm going to play something right here. Who am I taking if I play this soundbite?
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Jabari Smith Jr.
Oh, it's not Jabari Smith. Come on,
Michael
mate.
Scott.
Ryan Scalabrine.
I'm taking Jabari here probably early. It's probably early for him at 75, but I'm not going to get him coming back down. I need another forward. I've only got right now Jaylen Brown holding it down. I'm using a couple of those trade assets. Like, again, Trae Young, possibly an asset to boost, but I'm also trying to get my field goal percentage back up. I love what Jabari presents. I think he showed out in Summer League. I think he's not going to have to share the floor as much with, like, look at me, Mr. Green. So, yeah, I like him there. Bad pick, or am I getting him too early there? What do you reckon?
Bad pick.
Bad pick?
I think it's too early.
Too early.
It's a good pick. I think it's good in 15, 20 spots. I think you probably could have got him on the way back, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
and so is Ant, sorry to butt in, is Ant absolutely tanking free throws, picking up Gobert and Claxton back to back?
He took him straight out of my queue.
Yeah, he did.
No, last year I went Gobert early and never again. He is on that blacklist.
I feel like Minnesota have to stick with him, though, and Towns will be the first one traded out of the both of them. They've given too much up
way more value
for Gobert. Yeah.
I don't understand why, though. Like, I'd take Cat over Gobert. Gobert can't do shit on offense.
I love that. I have him as one of my sleepers in a way because he's.
I had him as the piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a decent
piece of shit's going to help me win my league. He might be the worst bloke in the world, but if he's going to get me points, rebounds, assists, a couple of sneaky steals, what's not?
No morals in the fantasy game.
No friends either.
Yeah.
I've reached a little bit on this Kongwu pick. Took him earlier than I thought he would take, that he would fall, but I feel like with Clint Capella on the trade block, there's so many things that could happen here at Atlanta over the next couple of months leading into the season. And if he gets a starting role, it's a punt that I'm willing to take because we saw what he did in the final month. I think it was last year. He averaged, I think it was 1.8 blocks or something at the back end of the season in the final month. So,
yeah. John Collins picked up right there. That's nice for there. Look, Jeremy Grant right there.
That was right out of my queue. Right out of my queue there, John Collins.
Hey, Nicky Bell, what do you reckon? John Collins starting in Utah?
Nah.
Mate, he's going to start. He's better than Kelly Olynyk.
He has to start. I think that Laurie Markkinen will play the 3 and they'll have Collins at the 4th.
Yeah. He's done it the last 2 years. It was Markkinen, Olynyk, and Kessler, and then before that it was Markkinen, Vanderbilt, and Olynyk. So I think they've locked in Laurie at the 3, and Collins is just going to slip straight into Kelly Olynyk, and Kelly Olynyk's going to play off the bench 5 and 4.
Off the bench, you reckon? Okay, he's a bit of a hybrid.
Kelly
I
Olynyk's
don't mind Kelly.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good. Like if he starts and gets minutes in Utah, like he's obviously a late round flyer. But
absolutely,
I think with the bigs that they have, it's going to be pretty tough for him to do anything there.
I don't know whether you know Trent, but it's your pick.
Yeah,
we're
going with it.
Oh, good pick.
Oh,
he's in my queue, straight out of my queue.
So we're saying that if you're listening or watching, you've just seen that. Trent's picked up there with the 86th pick. He's picked up Cam Johnson. I have him in my top, possibly 75 this year. You picked him up there, a little bit of sneaky value. Why? You're taking him. You're taking him. Cam, what do you love about him? Sorry, Trent.
I think it's as I said before, I'm not too concerned about rebounds from my forward or center position. So yet again, pairing him and Lopez, just give me those 3s from those positions. Just keep them coming.
Yep.
And obviously going to Brooklyn, he's going to have unlimited opportunity as well now. So we'll see now the shackles are gone. We'll see how he goes.
Tell me about Jalen Green then. Why'd you pick Jalen there?
All reports saying that he's looking electric in the preseason. So just going to see. I figure that's probably a good spot for him. And
unless electricity fixes your field goal percentage, he's not seeing my team ever.
Who knows?
You have to call RACQ and put some batteries on the fella. Yeah.
Ime Udoka might have whipped him into shape. Who knows?
But he's
whip.
Yeah, I was whipping him.
He's starting shooting guard. Is that what you reckon there, Trent? He's the starting shooting guard?
Yeah, he'd have to be.
I was tossing up Mick there, whether to go with Fultz or Smart. So you're in the same kind of thought as me. I'm in the 8th round to be able to bank some assists in the 8th round, and Tyus Jones obviously fits that category too. You're doing pretty well.
He does. So Marcus Smart coming over from Boston to Memphis, no jar the first half of the year. What do you reckon? We'll ask Matty O this as a Grizzlies man. Do you think that's too low, or do you think that's about right for Marcus Smart?
You took him right out of my queue, so really well, man. Really good pick. No, realistically, I do think you get the bump for the start of the year, and you might even look to trade him when it starts to come a bit further on, when people start to see how well he's producing and everything like that. The smart move would be take the bump and then trade him on.
Yep.
And I've taken Tyus Jones because he is really good at basketball and he's fun, getting that starters opportunity. We did see him a little bit, I suppose, in Minnesota get that opportunity. We saw him when Jar kept getting suspended, kept us to the third best team. I think on the Wizards, if people think that Kuzma and Poole's going to have a good season, Tyus Jones is going to be right up there.
Look, the picks just before me, and I was hoping he would come back around. I said he was a top 100 player this season. Austin Reeves taken off the board at the 93rd pick. I know that you're anti that pick, Matty O'Brien, but you're obviously all for it there. Skitty?
Yeah. I think he fits my team really, really well of getting the good free throw percentage because he's a little foul bitch. And he gets like a couple of assists. And if the reports of LeBron's not going to play out the full season, he's going to have a little bit more rest days are true, then I think Reeves is going to have the ball in his hands a bit more because we all know how unreliable D'Angelo Russell is. So
no, we don't.
Yeah.
He's like seriously, man. Austin Reeves, they've paid him less money. He's not as good at basketball. They've paid like $20 million for D'Angelo Russell. Taking a poor man's D'Angelo Russell. I think like we do talk about upside, but you've got a guy that's proven for 5 years that he can do this. We've taken Austin Reeves there. It's absolutely ludicrous. I hope you're in more leagues than me. That's garbage.
Look, mate, I'm happy with that because D'Angelo Russell's field goal percentage can die in the ass just like his career will. He is not that option there for the Lakers. But what the Reeves does
he was the 50th
is that he's got a great mid-range game.
He was the 50th best player last year for a guy that everybody's taken because he's dating Taylor Swift.
Is Phil listening? Because
I literally had him in my queue. I was literally about to. So he's taken D'Angelo bloody Russell right out of our hands, and that's me now. And I had him in my bloody spot. So I'm a bit cooked because I thought, here's a sneaky one. I'm just going to get D'Angelo Russell with basically the 100th pick because I think he's top 100 value. See, on Fantrax, Buddy Hield doesn't flex into the forward spot. I'm probably needing another forward. Yeah, he's done. So I'm taking Tobias Harris to fill out the forward spot. He's going to give me threes. Decent field goal percentage, does a little bit of everything, gets me some rebounds, and he's just filling that need for me right now without taking a flyer too early. I've absolutely cooped steals, by the way. I think I have just absolutely thrown those out the window.
He's dropping way too far, and I'm just going to have to take him, and that's the Time Lord, Robbie Williams.
Yeah, nice pick. Nice pick.
Starting center there, so he'll get a lot of blocks, rebounds. He's got good free throws percentage from a big man. And hopefully he's all recovered from that injury he had. So I don't think Porzingis worries him too much. I think Horford's going to take the brunt of it. So I'll take him there.
Yep. Good shout.
So we have
Andrew Wiggins
spots in here. So I can keep taking my guards, correct?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it's 14 or 15 roster, I think. 10 playable players.
I like how you got to look. I like Anthony Simons for you. Again, that's all tied to Damian Lillard there, isn't it, Matty?
Yep. Yeah, I hope that he goes. If not, he's still going to jack a heap of shots. And then if Lillard goes during a period of the year, in and around this hundreds, when I'm willing to take him, didn't expect him to be here. I've got him at just under 100 on my board. So.
Yeah, that's nice for Zach Collins there. I had him in my queue, mate. I reckon that's a great pick there at 104. I reckon you're getting value with Zach Collins there.
There's going to be plenty of attention on Wembanyama.
I reckon Jeremy Sohan. Zach Collins?
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
I think Jeremy Sohan has a better year than Zach Collins, to be honest.
And he's still on the board. So did you just
Collins? Love that.
What are we doing?
Love that pick, Trent. Jalen Duren, love that.
I think
love
with him and Cade working together this year, I think it's going to be really impressive to watch. And I'll tell you what, boys, if you didn't like my field goal percentage with Jalen Green, you're going to hate this one. You are going to hate this one. But my
You
boy
mean-
Russ, he's coming.
I was going to bring this up, how low he dropped. Because I took Russell
like
Westbrook
it.
last year, and I picked him up at 110 last year, and I thought that was value. And then he went and ruined me in nearly every category except all of the counting categories. So his efficiency was terrible. Lost me plenty of matchups. So enjoy that one.
Yeah, I mean, if
Can
you
I
don't
just
care about efficiency, he's great. But yeah,
Yeah. No, agree with that.
if you're banking on that, do not touch him.
Can I just ask a question? I know it's like taboo not to mention guys who are still on or off and everything like that, but I feel like at some point we need to start sharing some names who we're surprised have slipped. And I mean, we're all taking it. There's 6 guys in chat. Like, if we're surprised that some guys have slipped, we need to give the punters, some early insight to like, hey, if these guys are still on your board, look for these sleepers around here. I'm just thinking we need to do that at a point because we're now in the hundreds, and there's some like Buddy Hield right there. I reckon is great value for Matty at 100 and
I reckon he's fallen
112.
there. Sure.
Yeah.
I reckon he's
Slid way too
fallen.
low.
It
Yep.
depends though. As we said, Matty, on the Indiana podcast, like that,
Yep.
like it just depends what happens with Benedict Mathurin and Buddy Hield's minutes. I like
100%.
it if Buddy Hield gets to 30 minutes, but if not, like he's just not returning like any kind of value.
I think
And the thing is
Buddy
this,
Hield
though.
is going to play that wherever he is.
I think you'd be more concerned if Indy were a team that are clearly going to tank. But I think they've got a team that could start making some noise, start developing their current roster. I think they'll give Buddy Hield minutes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just going to be depending on what they're going to do with Benedict Mathurin, if they want to try and play more with Turner and Halliburton. So I think it's just going to depend on how much they think they can make that splash or not. So it'll be interesting to see because also Bruce Brown's there now. So
yeah,
it's very interesting to see.
Yep. Can I just go back to your last pick there, Mick Dell? We did the Charlotte Hornets podcast, the preseason. We spoke about Mark Williams. You've taken him with the 114th pick, if I'm not mistaken. I reckon that is an absolute steal at 114. I think Mark Williams at 114 is nothing but short of value and can help you win a championship right there. If he has the minutes and the opportunity, that is a solid center pick in the pick and roll with LaMelo. Is that what he?
100%.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
What are you so high on
the pick
him
and
this
roll
year,
game
mate?
the pick and roll game with LaMelo. He's clearly for me the number one center in Charlotte. I get the base with LaMelo when Bridges comes back. Williams, they've got an influx of young players there. I think he's going to get a lot of court time, and therefore his numbers will get a huge bump this season. Remember last year we started off slow. He was injured. Came in midway, found his feet, got injured again. I think with a good preseason this year, he's top 80 value for sure.
Yeah, Bruce, nice.
Yeah, I'm taking Brucey Brown there. Look, he's guard and forward eligible, so I can flex him between the two spots right there. Gets me some steals, gets me some threes, and I think the spacing off Tyrese Halliburton is going to help him a lot because he's been proven to be a knockdown shooter when needed. So that just fills that forward spot, but also gives me some steals. Aaron Gordon, not a bad pick right there either.
Yeah, that's good value for Gordon. I mean, he was just solid all round last year, so getting those rebounds, assists, a little bit of assists and a couple of points and good field goal percentage. He just needs to bring his free throw up and he'll smash that value-wise.
100%.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty blind.
Cheers to that, Matty boy.
Yeah, raise your 4-and-1s, lads.
Hey, Skiddy, I've got one for you, brother. You just mentioned Aaron Gordon. Do you believe now that Brucey Brown's gone and their bench is a lot worse than what it was this year, does he have more of a role, do you believe, with the second unit, or do you think he sticks it out with the first unit?
That's a hard one because I think Denver, they've got a lot to kind of work out there. Like their starting five's obviously still set, but I think it's going to be more Porter because Porter can create his own shot and all he needs is like a little bit of an off screen to be able to get himself open. And we know he loves to shoot. So I think Denver will kind of prioritize having Porter play with it, maybe with a bit of Gordon as well, just to like get a bit of the defense there. So I think, Gordon's value will rise a bit with Bruce Brown out there, but I think Christian Brown will just step into his role and try and play it to the best of his ability.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Sadiq Bey. Nath, what do you reckon there? Was Sadiq Bey going that? Do you reckon he's going to be draftable or no?
I mean, in the Atlanta preview pod, we see Sadiq Bey starting at the 4, Because, I mean, it's either him, Jalen Johnson, or AJ Griffin, really, unless Hunter goes to the 4 and they start Griffin at the 3. Oh, I don't know whether I like him there, though. I don't know. It's a massive punt play. If it pays off and if he gets a starting 4 role, it's a great play. But there's still something up in the air over there. So,
I suppose with some of these mocks, that's when we can take a bit of a risk. I wonder if, knowing Mally myself, I wonder if this was his own cash comp that he'd put his own money in. He's tight as a fish's arsehole. I tell you what, you don't want to go to Burger Edge with him. He's not buying you a bolter. I just wonder if he's not the kind of guy that would take that risk once he puts his money in there. But if he's playing a free league, he'll have a chop at that.
Oh, sniped? Yep. Have you been sniped here, Matty?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was
ridiculous. But I did too.
I'm pretty sure he had to be in everyone's queue. I reckon.
He was in my queue. I only went with Josh Hart because I wanted to feel some more rebounds. So I went with Josh Hart because he gets me those. And he gets Advia. Hello.
If you needed rebounds, then why wouldn't you go Abdia that averaged 11 rebounds a game without Porzingis?
No, I took Josh Hart. I took Josh Hart.
There it is. Great pick, Brano.
There he is, Brano.
Recovered. Have I recovered, Skitty, from my Brandon Miller pick?
Slightly, but yes, it's a good spot to take him. I wouldn't have drafted
Someone
Miller,
has listened to the Insight Fantasy Sports Indiana Pacers season preview with NBA G Wiz and Filthy IFS.
Always watch it.
Obi Toppin with the 128th pick is absolute huge pick. That was I was hoping to get him in the next round to prove that he could fall in a draft, to be honest, Brano. So you taking him there for me is like, there's 4 rounds to go after this. I was hoping to pick him up in my goal is last 3 to 4 rounds for him. So taking him with 5 rounds out just wasn't there to get that super sleeper, but I love that for you.
Yeah, I've got another big sleeper in mind, maybe 14, 15, but I think you can get top 100 value from Top if he gets that starting gig. So
yeah, 100%.
And it looks like he has it, right? And obviously him and Halliburton are running around throwing lobs to each other, and he looks like he's enjoying his time over at Indiana. So
they're absolutely having a great chemistry. Well, I'm really curious. Here's a bit of an inside track. I'm absolutely loving this NBA select team. The information that's coming out of watching these preseason workouts with these guys. We got to remember, in the preseason, a whole bunch of guys like, hey, do you want to come down and work out and run some scrims? And they play those games. Yeah, they do that. Fair enough. Good pick, Shaden Sharp at the turn right there. Cam picking that up. A couple of Knicks fans. A couple of Knicks picks there. Double Knicks, 134, 133 and 132 with Mitchie Robinson. And
outrageously low for Mitch Robinson.
It is.
Yeah.
Mitch Robinson last year was worse than my guts after a hot curry. He was ordinary. He's no good.
But he gets those rebounds, blocks, mate, and you're picking it like 120 for him. That's like Brook Lopez, right?
Yeah, but he's going 0 for 4 from the line. He's so inconsistent. Tibbs doesn't trust him.
You don't know whether he's going to get 15 minutes or 32 minutes a game either.
You're right. Tibbs was rolling with Hartenstein half the time. So
yeah, I think like this is the time that you take him. I'm not sure if he fell, but like I think we would be talking about it being a bad pick if he took him 20 spots ago. But it's a great pick now.
Yep.
Yes, exactly right.
100%.
Also, let me just say right now, Trent, Sir Thompson, beautiful pick. I love that there.
I don't know how he's fallen this far.
Damage.
I don't know how he's fallen this far because he is going to be a defensive menace. Like he is going to get. I wouldn't be shocked to see if he averaged 2 steals, maybe 1.5 blocks a game, just from what only a small sample size. But seriously, the Twins, they look like they're going to be an absolute problem on defense for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
And after doing yourself more than in your teenage years into a sock, Trent, I think you deserve this one.
It's so juicy.
For that Thompson pick, mate, because I think that's absolutely sharp. And also Shaden Sharp as well. You've gone with a couple of little flyers there, especially with that Damian Lillard being off the thing. So Steven Adams, about pick 140 right there. Benedict Mathurin, that's come straight on my queue. Thank you very much. So Delaney, that sucks to be me. Who are you taking, Skitty? Call it as you do it. And why. Talk us through your pick.
Okay, so obviously, as you guys can see, I've gone pretty well on threes and assists and blocks and rebounds. I'm just going to do this purely off. I think my field goal percentage is good enough to take the hit, and he gets the steals. I'm taking Gary Trent because I believe he is the only starting shooting guard there in Toronto. So, and he can get a lot of steals. So I'll take a gamble on Trent.
Can I just say you've taken him right
Thanks,
out of
mate.
my hands with the very next pick? So I love that.
It was either him or Melton, but
I love
the
that.
worst part about
stays.
this whole draft? Someone else can share their screen next time because I can't have a fucking queue with all you blokes looking at my screen all the time.
That's kind of why we gave it to. That's kind of why we gave it to
plays.
you. That's pretty much why we gave it to you.
Remember
to be
this for
fair.
next
Don't you
time.
always
Look, I'm taking Jalen Johnson.
That's a reach. That is a massive reach.
No, that was an accident. That was in my
12-10.
queue, but I'm keeping it just because it's pissed you off.
Yeah.
I literally ran out of
That
time
annoys
because
me.
I had Gary
He's the perfect-
Trent in my queue. I had Gary Trent, Benedict Mathurin, and I had Jaden Ivey. So my queue pretty much got decimated, and then I was cooked, and I ended up talking on a podcast. So
Nice
I'm
one,
doing the
Phil.
same thing now. Yeah, good Phil.
Good pick.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a nice little just in case kind of pick coming off your bench.
Yeah,
I don't
like
want to
that.
go back to a little while ago because I've just taken a couple centers in a row, so I feel a bit more comfortable about talking about it now. But Zubac got taken a while ago. Do we think Plum Dog Millionaire is just better than Zubac?
I think they cancel each other out personally because I reckon they're going to like split it like 24 minutes. So I think both of them are not fantasy draftable this year.
Plum's going to give you some good assist numbers, though, I reckon. Playing with that second unit, if that's who he plays with, he can run really well out of that low post and create for others. So I like him with that. But as you say, them being top picks is just not viable in fantasy this year, I don't think.
I don't like it.
Thoughts
on
thoughts on Phil's pick here, Anthony Black. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I love Anthony Black.
Too early.
No, look,
He's a
I
waivers
like
guy,
Anthony
isn't he?
Black a lot. Yeah, he's a waivers guy though. So look, Skitty, you and I did a bit of a preview show with the NBA draft, and I was talking about Anthony Black when we did our mock. I really like him. I just don't like his situation. So Anthony Black showed out in summer league, and there was a lot of talk like, "Hey, look how great Anthony Black is." And I'm high on him as a player. I'm not high on his situation unless something happens around the fringes there. He's definitely not a draftable player at this point because you've got your starting point guard in Mikal Fultz. That's like the guy who's giving you some upside value in Orlando, in my opinion.
Rui,
the samurai. So I just think like you've got a bunch of guards that really are a logjam there with Suggsy and
Cole
you've got
Anthony.
old mate, Cole Anthony, and there's
Gary
just
Harris.
too much of a So
there
I
are
think
so
there's
many
too much
guards there
room
in Orlando, don't they?
There's so many. It's really spoiled for choice in Guardland. If someone moves off or two of those guys move off and Anthony Black comes in, 100%.
Oh,
but
that's
not right
not-
now.
That's a
good pick.
flyer. I like that one.
That's
That's
a
an
flyer.
nice one.
I love that,
pick.
Matrix.
Yeah.
I
love
got
that.
I got that one out for you. Those of you that are watching online, I got a little Mike Conley signed card out for Skitty there after that pick.
Thanks, buddy.
I love the one.
I would have taken him 2 or 3 rounds ago, which is actually a bit of a reality check for me. I can't see a world where he's outside of being a top 110 player with how many minutes that he plays. So I think that that's a steal where it is. It's just the fact that I got the Jones brothers. I've went really guard heavy, and then I couldn't get him, which allowed him to slide.
What
So,
are you actually relying on
great
Grant
pick.
getting you, though? Like, what are you relying on him getting you? Because to me, I've seen a few games, like a lot of games of him just running around, running suicides, just doing defense. Like, that's all he's running around doing.
Yeah, I think he's just going to get some threes. Like when we're at the 150th pick, he's also going to get some opportunity.
Is there a category for
155.
fights had in a game? Because Grant Williams could probably be up there. Win you that category.
I would make both
I
of
was
them.
wondering when that was going to happen.
Can we very quickly talk about Dylan Brooks here? Where's this? 166th pick, roughly? No, because Damon is a Houston Rockets supporter. It needs to be mentioned because I think Dylan Brooks
I wouldn't pick him
putrid.
at 300. Yep, I wouldn't pick him at 300. Garbage.
He's given us some
This
context.
is down the shitter.
Yeah. This pick here, I've been hurt before, but I'm actually hoping that with the emergence of others, I'm hoping he shoots less, focuses more on defense, and just corner threes. So
You've already taken Jalen Green.
no, big Lou Gwentz.
Luigi.
If he focuses just on defense and just focuses on taking off-ball cuts and stuff like that, he can actually be a good fantasy player. He just, in the recent years where we've obviously just tanked in the past, he's just taken a lot of shots, and hopefully they come down and the percentage goes up a bit because I think he could be a good player.
What else does he do though, Trent? Like, if he's
defense,
not,
mate. If he just focuses on defense, he'll get you steals, get you some threes, and also really good off-ball cuts. I'm gonna have to quickly make my choice, but I had this guy probably a bit early, but I'm interested to see how he goes at Clipperland with the new role.
Oh, shit.
Is Kevin Martin back in the league?
Another OKC legend, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Weird jump shot, but geez, he was awesome.
God, he was cash too. It's like Tyrese
That was one of the
Halliburton.
weirdest ones.
I'm taking a bit of a punt on an risk here, but Gordon Hayward, get in my team.
Yeah, I was looking at him just
second last round.
hopefully play well.
Wait, no,
First couple
swap
of
that with
rounds,
Brandon
trade him
Miller.
off.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Take him in the 10th, you reckon?
defense.
Yeah, fuck Brandon Miller.
Kevin Porter dropping as well to like the 150, the late 150s is probably value for Kevin Porter as well. To be fair enough,
Oh yeah.
Matisse Thybulle, role dependent, 100%.
Yeah,
I like it. I like Thibault in Portland.
I
think
like it.
The few games that he had there towards the back end of the year, he looked like he could yet again be a defensive menace. He just needs the minutes, as you say.
Talk us through Rashawn Holmes because I've tipped him for a bit of a bounce back season, Matty. So you've kind of just let the centers come off the board early and see who's there, yeah?
Yeah. I've just had a look at who's slid. I've taken my last 4 picks have been forwards and guards, expecting to get a lot of my production out of Luka, Dono, Fox, Kawhi, Zion. You know, the 2 Jones brothers, Anthony
I don't know how I
Simons.
feel about this one.
Yeah.
boys. This is a risky one.
Ooh,
Oh, I love
it's
that.
me.
that's nice. That's a
Yeah,
nice
I
Great
love-
today.
I actually,
Carter.
I love
Yeah,
him
that's
as well.
not. You know, that's not Vince, right?
Fuck.
Javon's the best point guard on their team. Javon is the best passer on their
Best
team
point
right
guard.
now.
Yeah.
So you reckon he starts over Kobe White and Caruso
Yes.
and whoever the
Yep.
others?
Yep.
Definitely
Yes.
over Kobe White.
Okay. Dasumu?
I think,
I think so.
he's already better than Desomnu.
I agree. I
Even
just
if
hope
he
that
doesn't,
Chicago think
he's
that.
going to take the minutes off him. I think Kobe White and Caruso are actually shooting guards, and I think that the coach is going to treat them like that. So
All right, I like that. Oh, Looney!
Yeah, I've taken KCP
Kevon.
just to fix up a little bit of those guard spots right there. Give me some peripheral stats very, very late. I just think he's slid down a whole lot.
It's worth talking about taking a punt on your last pick. In your 15th pick, you can kind of take a punt on someone maybe that's got plenty of upside, but that someone's kind of fell down or is sleeping in your draft. That's the way
Yeah,
I
100%.
approach my 15th or my last pick in the round.
That's exactly where we are right now.
that's how I've treated the last 3.
Let's talk our last rounds like that we were going to take because I've got a guy in the queue because coming back to me right there at pick 100 and deep 60, my flyer was Keontae George in Utah.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm taking. Yeah, I had Keontae there because he was still sitting on the board for me. So there was my big flyer in the last round. I would have taken him if I didn't feel my shooting guard spot up early, but I have, and I've taken some young blokes along the way. So Keontae was my flyer in my queue for the last round. Filthy, who was yours, Skitty?
I was very much looking at Jarris Walker from Indiana, just in case he does beat out Obi Toppin, or they do some kind of minute split or something like that in Indiana. He gets a lot of blocks, rebounds, steals, can also shoot the 3. So I think that would have been a nice little defensive hit for my team as well. So that's what I was thinking. Trena, what are you thinking?
I was going to go with Josh Richardson. New role back in Miami. Butler, as we know, doesn't take the regular season too seriously. So plenty of opportunity, I think, there for old Joshy boy. That's where I would have gone. If not, Poku, just for a bit of a piss take.
What about you, Brano? Who are you taking there, Brano? You're actually, wait a second. Let's go. Actually, Matrix, you would have been first Matrix. So let's just see if he would have taken someone you would have, Brano.
Oh, I don't think it would have been on his radar, but I would have taken Malik Beasley. He's just like Grayson Allen, but good.
Yeah, I heard you mention him as a thing in the Bucks. So then after that would mean actually you, Mick Dell. Who was in your queue? Who are you looking as a bit of a last round sleeper there?
Last round sleeper for sure would be Caris LeVert from Cleveland. He does a bit of everything, scores the ball pretty well. I think massively undervalued in our what would be 15th round.
Yep,
yeah, 100%.
he was I would have taken him.
Yep.
You would take
there you go.
Caris?
Good pick, Brano.
Yeah, definitely would have taken him if obviously Mick would have sniped me there. So now I've got to quickly try and find someone else. I will take on the fly because it's more than 30 seconds, isn't it? Maybe Max Strus. Maybe Max Strus.
Yeah.
I reckon maybe
So there's
he wins that small forward role at the Cavs. And I don't think take too many shots. So maybe efficiency isn't going to be terrible. He's going to kind of pump my threes up. I've got bogey there, but my threes otherwise in my team aren't exactly fantastic. So it might probably fill a little bit of a void there for me.
Skitty, you and I spoke about this in the Cavaliers podcast. We put Caris LeVert in our starting lineup just for familiarity, but we don't know if the season finishes that way at the end of the day. And Maxi Strus gets the starting role. That's a possibility. And then Caris still is that microwave scorer off the bench and brings us that kind of stuff that we need right there.
I think it is that way. So the reports coming out of Cleveland are going to be most like a lot of like fanfare and everything like that is that Max Strus is going to get the starting role, try and bring the threes up a little bit, and then Caris LeVert comes off the bench. But the thing is, it's not about who's going to be starting; it's who's going to be closing in Cleveland. It shows who they have more reliant trust on. Is it going to be Strus? Is it going to be Okoro? Is it going to be LeVert? So that's where you're going to be able to make the choice between if LeVert is going to be draftable or Strus. LeVert obviously has a better fantasy game, so it's going to be good to see. So definitely keep your eyes out on that preseason and keep your eyes out on all of our pods to see what we reckon about it, and we can give you the inside word.
Trent, you would have been up next with yours. Brano, you just touched on who you would have taken. Trent, you would have been up next with your last round pick. Who would have you taken?
Yeah, so I would have taken Josh Richardson. That's where I would have gone.
You did that. Yeah, Josh.
No one else would have taken him. It's good.
Let's just rattle off the guys that are live on screen. Let's just go through their teams. So So let's look
you go
at
first,
Matty
Matty.
G's
You go first,
team.
mate. Oh, my turn. Okay, Thanks. You parked your car right into my lot. All right.
We'll rattle off our
Here we go.
Own team. I have Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Simons, Zion Williamson, Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, Grant Williams, Jared Allen, Rashawn Holmes, the two Jones brothers, Trey and Tyus, Yusuf Nurkic, and Steven Adams. All right, G, you rattle through yours.
Yeah, can I just ask you one question? Who are you most happy with in your team where they fell to? Like where you picked them up, who are you the most happy with there?
Honestly, Yusuf Nurkic.
Yep.
I didn't expect him to be wherever I took him. It was a ridiculously long pick. It was like one of the last picks. It was like 130. I just didn't expect Yusuf Nurkic to be there. So.
Fair. Look, I'll run off my team. Pick down to, I'll go to the 12th team with my bench. I got Shea, Trey Young, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brown, Walker Kessler, Ja Morant, Jabari Smith, Jakob Poeltl, Tobias Harris, Bruce Brown, Josh Hart, Jalen Johnson, who I could have taken later, Harrison Barnes, and KCP as my last pick. And I had in my queue Keontae George. I think I'm most happy probably with, look, I'd probably say Ja Morant with the 70th pick overall, just because I'm looking at him at the end of the season and what he can return for me. And I know that I can flip him once he comes back and 100% healthy and rested. Like missing 20 games, that's 4 weeks of my season. And I'm happy to lose my first month and take that and then get him where it counts down the start for my playoffs. So him or Jakob Poeltl. Brano, what about you?
AD, James Harden, Chet Holmgren, Desmond Bain, Scotty Barnes, Bradley Beal, Onyeka Okongwu, Markel Fultz, Zach Collins, Brandon Miller, Obi Toppin, Tari Eason, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Gordon Hayward, and my last pick, who did I say? Max Strus, didn't I? Because you sniped me on Caris LeVert. I'm happy with Obi Toppin.
He's gone.
I like Obi Toppin where I got him. So I feel like I'm pretty happy with that.
No, I love that for you. I think that was an absolute. What pick did you get him at overall? Can you bring up what pick he was on your draft?
11th, 12, 11s, 132, 140. I got him.
Yeah, that's great value for Obi Toppin.
All right. With the 11-pound slugs, we've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jaren Jackson Jr., LeBron James, Jalen Brunson, Brandon Ingram, Tyrese Maxey, who'll be my flyer. Without Harden, he's got top 40 value there. Bridges from Charlotte, give him his first 10 games out. He'll come back. He'll do well for me. Marcus Smart, Spencer Dinwiddie, handy assist that low. Big Williams, center for Charlotte. Denny Abdiya, sneaky nice. Jaden Ivey from Detroit. People are forgetting a bit about him. He started off the season well last year and went off with injury. Dennis Schroeder, who could potentially be the starting point guard at Toronto this year.
Oh, yeah.
Matisse Thybulle, and all reports are my boy Jonathan Isaac is blitzing preseason, and if he does play the preseason games and looks as though he's going to suit up, I'll be bringing him in for especially the defensive side.
Mate, who's the happiest? Who are you happy with? Yeah, best pick.
Probably Bridges in the 7th round.
Yeah.
I reckon,
yeah, that's huge. Because we've got to remember, we did the Charlotte.
You can cop the first 10 games. Really, it's not that much. It's the first, 2.5 weeks? And then, you cop, even if you have to cop 2 losses, you're getting a guy that is probably top 60, top 50. You're getting low. I like it.
Yep.
We had him, Mick, in our Charlotte Hornets preview. We had him as top 40 value in the previous season, and then he stepped back into this role, and you picked him up right there really, really deep. What about you, Filthy?
Yeah, so I kind of built my team on the fly of how my draft was going. So picking Tatum at 4, then I had Kyrie Irving, Bam Adebayo, Evan Mobley, Zach LaVine, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Middleton was kind of a faller, so I just had to take him. Austin Reeves, obviously the best pick in the draft. Robert Williams, Chris Paul, Bojan Bogdanovic, Gary Trent, Mike Conley, Javon Carter, and then Jarris Walker. So, yeah, I like how my team kind of shaped together. I've got a good amount of points. I've got a good field goal percentage. I've got a pretty good free throw percentage as well, with only Mobley kind of taking the hits. I've got good blocks. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty good in about 6 to 7 categories. So I'm pretty happy with how I've drafted. My best one's obviously Robert Williams. If I'm getting Robert Williams in the 9th round, unreal value. That's basically where people were taking him last year when he missed 50 games. So, when it got to that point, I already had the 2 centers, but I couldn't say no to Time Lord at that area. And Chris Paul depends. It's very dependent on if he gets enough minutes to be fantasy relevant, but hopefully his assists still shine through in Golden State.
100%. And Trent, what about you, mate? Who are you the most happy with of your team? And then lead us through them.
Yeah, so I'll start with the team. So I got KD at pick 11, then got Mikal Bridges in the 2nd round, which I was stoked about. Garland, Josh Giddey, Aussie boy, Brook Lopez, very divisive, but liked him there. J-Dub from OKC as well, one of my favourite players, so happy as to get him. Jalen Green, RIP field goal. Cam Johnson, Jalen Duran, my boy Russ, got him in as well. Shaden Sharp, and then Uzar Thompson. So happy with those 2 picks back to back as well. That was they were fantastic. I think they're really good value down there. Lou Dort, Martin out at Clippers, and then I think I got Josh Richardson with the last one as well. But yeah, I think favorite one for me is getting Mikal Bridges in the 2nd round. I think it's kind of given me hope that if you get a pick towards the back end in your 12-teamer, that you're going to have a chance to get him on the way back, given the players in the 1st round. But I think he's going to be 1st round value this year for sure. And all the comments from him in the preseason as well, saying that he'd love to be getting triple doubles and doing things to the team. They're the sorts of things I want to hear from my fantasy team.
100%. Mate, good picking. I guess the other thing to take away from this right now is that there's an absolutely active waiver wire this year. So if you look at past where we've drafted, you'll be able to stream guys really actively. Dudes like Jalen Suggs are in there. He's going to get minutes. Alex Caruso is still about. You could stream in some steals here and there. I think is where you want to build your team at the end of the day. And whatever you take, and then you deal away. Be active on your waiver wire. Be active on your trade feed. And be active in your leagues and cop a few tinnies in your 4-1. This has been an Inside Fantasy Sports NBA mock draft. This has been 12 teams. Taken deep, lads. Thank you very much. Check it out. Thanks again to our sponsors, the Standard Squeeze. I am at NBA GWiz. We'll catch you soon, Hoopers.